Question 1. Which of the following is not typically covered under commercial general liability (CGL) policy? A. Bodily injury and property damage coverage, coverage A. B. Personal and advertising injury coverage, coverage B. C. Product liability coverage for defective products. D. Coverage for employer's liability for employee injuries. Answer: D. Coverage for employer's liability for employee injuries. Explanation: a commercial general liability (CGL) policy covers bodily injury and property damage, coverage A, personal and advertising injury, coverage B, and product liability for defective products. However, it does not cover an employer's liability for employee injuries. Such coverage is typically provided by workers' compensation insurance, not CGL policies. Workers' compensation insurance addresses medical expenses, wage loss, and rehabilitation costs for employees who are injured on the job, while CGL covers third-party claims related to bodily injury or property damage caused by the business. Question 2. Mr. Thompson operates a retail store and recently added a new inventory of electronics. He's concerned that the current business owner's policy, BOP, may not cover this new inventory due to the high value. What should Mr. Thompson do to ensure proper coverage? A. Mr. Thompson should purchase a separate inland marine insurance policy for the new inventory. B. Mr. Thompson should request an endorsement to his BOP to include coverage for the electronics. C. Mr. Thompson should increase his building and personal property coverage under the BOP. D. Mr. Thompson should take out a commercial auto insurance policy for the electronics. Answer: B. Mr. Thompson should request an endorsement to his BOP to include coverage for the electronics. Explanation: for valuable or high-risk items, such as electronics, Mr. Thompson should request an endorsement to his business owner's policy BOP. BOPs generally cover building and business personal property, but items with a high value may exceed the policy's limits or may not be included under standard coverage. An endorsement can add additional coverage for specific items like electronics. Inland marine insurance, option A, is more appropriate for property in transit or specialized equipment, not for inventory already on the premises. Increasing building and personal property coverage, option C, could help but may not specifically address the inventory's unique needs. Commercial auto insurance, option D, would not be relevant for inventory inside the store unless the electronics were in transit, which is not the case here. Question 3, scenario-based. Samantha owns a small construction company and has recently taken out a commercial auto insurance policy for her fleet of vehicles. One of her employees, while using a company vehicle, gets into an accident with a third party. Which of the following will most likely be covered under the commercial auto insurance policy? A. The employee's medical expenses for injuries sustained during the accident. B. The cost of repairing the employee's personal vehicle. C. The cost to repair the company vehicle, including damages to the third-party vehicle. D. The employee's lost wages while recovering from injuries. Answer: C. The cost to repair the company vehicle, including damages to the third-party vehicle. Explanation: under commercial auto insurance, the policy generally covers damage to the company-owned vehicle, such as repair costs and damage caused to the third-party vehicle in an accident liability coverage. This coverage can include both bodily injury and property damage liabilities. The employee's medical expenses, option A, would generally be covered under workers' compensation insurance, not the commercial auto policy. The employee's personal vehicle, option B, is not covered under the commercial auto policy unless specifically included under a non-owned auto endorsement, and even then, it would not typically cover personal property. Lost wages, option D, are again typically handled by workers' compensation if the employee is injured while performing work-related duties. Question 4. Which of the following is not typically included in a business owner's policy BOP as part of its property coverage? A. Coverage for damage to the building structure. B. Coverage for inventory, furniture, and equipment. C. Coverage for losses due to employee dishonesty. D. Coverage for business interruption or lost income. Answer: C. Coverage for losses due to employee dishonesty. Explanation: the business owner's policy BOP generally includes property coverage for the business's building structure, inventory, furniture, and equipment. Options A, B, and D. However, employee dishonesty is not typically covered under the standard BOP. This type of coverage is usually available through separate crime insurance policy. Crime insurance can provide coverage for employee theft and other dishonesty-related incidents. Question 5. Which of the following is a required element in the formation of a valid insurance contract? A. An understanding of the policyholder's financial situation. B. A legally valid written offer from the insurance company. C. The insurable interest of the policyholder in the subject matter of the insurance. D. A guaranteed profit for the insurance company from the contract. Answer: C. The insurable interest of the policyholder in the subject matter of the insurance. Explanation. In order for an insurance contract to be valid, there must be an insurable interest in the subject matter of the policy. This means the policyholder must stand to suffer financially from the loss or damage of the insured property, person, or entity. The other options do not represent required elements. While understanding the financial situation, option A can affect underwriting. It is not a contract requirement. A written offer from the insurer, option B, is not necessary. If the policyholder's offer and the insurer's acceptance are the primary elements, guaranteed profit, option D, is not required, as the purpose of insurance is risk sharing, not profit for either party. Question 6. Mr. Roberts owns a commercial auto policy 01 and uses a company vehicle for both business and personal use. During a personal trip, he accidentally causes damage to another vehicle. Which of the following will most likely not be covered under Mr. Roberts' commercial auto insurance? A. Property damage to the other vehicle. B. Bodily injury to the other driver. C. Personal injury to Mr. Roberts. D. Damage to Mr. Roberts' company vehicle. Answer: C. Personal injury to Mr. Roberts. Explanation: in commercial auto insurance, coverage typically extends to damage caused to third parties, including property damage, option A, and bodily injury, option B, to others. However, personal injury to Mr. Roberts, option C, would typically be covered under a personal auto policy, PAP, or personal injury protection, PIP, coverage, not the commercial policy. Damage to Mr. Roberts' company vehicle, option D, would also generally be covered under the physical damage portion of the commercial auto policy, including collision or comprehensive coverage, depending on the specific terms. Question 7, scenario-based. Sarah runs a restaurant and just purchased commercial general liability (CGL) insurance for her business. A customer slips and falls on a wet floor, injuring their back. Which of the following would most likely be covered by Sarah's CGL policy? A. Medical expenses for the customer's treatment. B. Coverage for Sarah's business loss due to the injury. C. Legal cost if the customer sues for negligence. D. The cost to repair the floor that caused the injury. Answer: C. Legal costs if the customer sues for negligence. Explanation: a commercial general liability (CGL) policy primarily covers third-party claims related to bodily injury or property damage caused by the business's operations, including legal defense costs. In this case, legal costs, option C, if the customer sues for negligence, would be covered by the CGL policy. Medical expenses, option A, for the injured customer would not be covered under your. This would typically be covered by the customer's health insurance or medical payments provision in different insurance policy. Business loss, option B, due to the injury would not be covered by CGL policy. Business income coverage could be covered under business owner's policy, BOP, or separate business interruption policy. The cost to repair the floor, option D, would not be covered under the CGL policy either, as it pertains to property damage to the insured's own property, which is not typically covered by CGL policy. Question 8. Which of the following is not a common exclusion in a commercial general liability (CGL) insurance policy? A. Bodily injury resulting from the insured's work or services. B. Damage to the insured's own property. C. Claims arising from pollution or environmental damage. D. Injuries or damages caused by professional services provided by the insured. Answer: D. Injuries or damages caused by professional services provided by the insured. Explanation: the commercial general liability (CGL) policy generally excludes damage to the insured's own property. Option B, as this is typically covered under other types of insurance such as property insurance. Pollution or environmental damage, option C, is commonly excluded unless specifically endorsed. Bodily injury resulting from the insured's work or services, option A, is excluded in the form of product liability and completed operations coverage unless an endorsement is made. However, injuries or damages caused by professional services, option D, are generally not excluded from the CGL policy. These claims would instead fall under a separate professional liability insurance policy such as errors and omissions (EO) coverage, which is designed for businesses that offer professional advice or services. Question 9. Which of the following is true about workers' compensation insurance in Missouri? A. It covers only medical expenses for injuries sustained on the job. B. Coverage is only available to businesses with more than 100 employees. C. It provides compensation for wage loss, rehabilitation, and medical expenses due to work-related injuries. D. Employers are not required to provide coverage if their employees work less than 20 hours per week. Answer: C. It provides compensation for wage loss, rehabilitation, and medical expenses due to work-related injuries. Explanation: workers' compensation insurance in Missouri covers wage loss, medical expenses, and rehabilitation costs resulting from work-related injuries. Employers are required by law to provide this coverage regardless of the number of employees as long as they have at least one employee. Medical expenses only. Option A is incorrect as wage loss and rehabilitation are also covered. Businesses with 100 employees, option B, are not required to have workers' compensation insurance as it is required for all employers in Missouri with at least one employee in most cases. Employers are required to provide coverage regardless of whether employees work full-time or part-time, option D, making this statement inaccurate. Question 10. Which of the following is a characteristic of an umbrella policy? A. It only provides liability coverage for bodily injury claims. B. It provides additional coverage over primary insurance policies. C. It covers the insured's own property in the event of a loss. D. It is a form of life insurance that provides long-term coverage. Answer. B. It provides additional coverage over primary insurance policies. Explanation. An umbrella policy is designed to provide extra liability coverage over and above the limits of other primary policies, such as auto and homeowners insurance. It helps protect against major claims that could otherwise exceed the limits of these primary policies. It does not cover property, option C, or focus on life insurance, option D. Question 11. Under homeowners insurance policy, which of the following is not covered as part of personal property protection? A. Furniture and appliances. B. Jewelry, watches, and furs. C. Cash and valuable papers. D. Electronics such as televisions and computers. Answer. C. Cash and valuable papers. Explanation. Homeowners insurance typically covers furniture, appliances, electronics, and other personal property. Options A, B, and D, but cash and valuable papers are generally excluded or limited under standard coverage. Separate coverage or an endorsement like a floater is often required to cover valuable items such as jewelry or important documents. Question 12. Which of the following is true about the coinsurance clause in property insurance policies? A. Ensures the insured receives full reimbursement for any loss. B. It requires the insured to maintain coverage equal to a certain percentage of the property's value. C. It applies only to policies covering personal property, not real property. D. It eliminates the deductible from the insured's financial responsibility. Answer. B. It requires the insured to maintain coverage equal to a certain percentage of the property's value. Explanation. The coinsurance clause typically requires the insured to maintain insurance coverage equal to specified percentage of the property's replacement value, often 80%, 90%, or 100%. If the insured doesn't meet the required amount, they will bear part of the cost in the event of claim. It does not eliminate deductibles, option D, or ensure full reimbursement, option A. Coinsurance applies to both real and personal property, option C, not just personal property. Question 13. In commercial property insurance, which of the following is covered by business income coverage? A. Loss of inventory. B. Equipment breakdown. C. Loss of business profits due to a covered property loss. D. Loss of customers due to a decrease in reputation. Answer. C. Loss of business profits due to a covered property loss. Explanation. Business income coverage helps compensate for loss of profits and ongoing operating expenses if a covered property loss interrupts the business's operations. It does not cover loss of inventory, option A, equipment breakdown, option B, or reputation damage, option D, which may require different types of insurance like equipment breakdown coverage or business interruption insurance. Question 14. Which of the following is not an exclusion under a typical auto insurance liability policy? A. Damage to the insured's own vehicle. B. Injuries to the driver of the insured vehicle. C. Damage caused while driving under the influence of alcohol. D. Property damage caused by a vehicle accident. Answer. D. Property damage caused by a vehicle accident. Explanation. Auto insurance liability coverage generally includes coverage for property damage, option D, caused to others as a result of an accident. However, it does not cover damage to the insured's own vehicle, option A, or injuries to the driver, option B. Those are typically covered under collision or personal injury protection (PIP) policies. Driving under the influence, option C, may result in exclusions or reduced coverage. Question 15. Scenario-based. John owns a small retail store and has a commercial property policy. A fire breaks out in the store's kitchen, damaging both the building and inventory. John files a claim for the damage to both the building and his inventory. Which of the following types of insurance would likely cover the damage to the building? A. General liability insurance. B. Property damage insurance. C. Commercial auto insurance. D. Business income insurance. Answer. B. Property damage insurance. Explanation. Property damage insurance within a commercial property policy would cover damage to the building. Option B. General liability insurance. Option A covers injuries or damages to third parties, but not property damage. Commercial auto insurance. Option C pertains to vehicles, not buildings. Business income insurance. Option D covers lost income, but does not cover physical damage to the property itself. Question 16. Which of the following statements about flood insurance is true? A. It is automatically included in standard homeowners insurance policies. B. It is only available for commercial properties, not residential properties. C. It must be purchased separately as most homeowners policies exclude flood damage. D. It only covers flood damage caused by natural disasters, not man-made causes. Answer: C. It must be purchased separately as most homeowners policies exclude flood damage. Explanation: flood insurance is generally not included in standard homeowners insurance policies. Option A. It must be purchased as a separate policy through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP) or private insurers. It covers flood damage regardless of the cause, so it is not limited to natural disasters. Option D. It is available for both residential and commercial properties. Option B. Not just commercial. Question 17. Which of the following best defines professional liability insurance, also known as errors and omissions (EO) insurance? A. It covers employees who are injured while working in the field. B. It provides coverage for third-party property damage caused by the business. C. It protects professionals against claims of negligence or inadequate work. D. It covers damage to the insured's own property due to natural disasters. Answer: C. It protects professionals against claims of negligence or inadequate work. Explanation: professional liability insurance (EO) insurance protects professionals e.g. doctors, lawyers, consultants against claims arising from negligence, errors, or inadequate work. Option C. It does not cover employees' injuries. Option A. Or third-party property damage. Option B. Which would fall under different types of coverage such as workers' compensation or commercial general liability insurance. It also does not cover damage to the insured's own property. Option D. Question 18. Scenario-based. A business owner is looking to purchase insurance for her manufacturing facility, which includes machinery, equipment, and inventory. She wants coverage for both property damage and business interruption. Which of the following insurance policies should she purchase? A. Commercial auto insurance. B. Business owner's policy. C. General liability insurance. D. Commercial property insurance. Answer: D. Commercial property insurance. Explanation: to cover both property damage and business interruption, the business owner should purchase commercial property insurance. Option D. This policy can be tailored to cover machinery, equipment, and inventory while also including business interruption coverage. Option B may also be appropriate in some cases, but it does not necessarily include business interruption as a standard component. Commercial auto insurance. Option A covers vehicles, while general liability insurance. Option C does not cover property damage or business interruptions. Question 19. Which of the following types of insurance would be most appropriate for a business that wants to insure coverage for damage caused by employees' actions, including theft or fraud? A. Business interruption insurance. B. Crime insurance. C. Commercial property insurance. D. Umbrella insurance. Answer: B. Crime insurance. Explanation: crime insurance provides coverage for losses due to criminal acts such as employee theft, fraud, or dishonesty. Option B. Business interruption insurance. Option A covers lost income due to a property loss, while commercial property insurance. Option C covers physical property damage. Umbrella insurance. Option D offers extra liability coverage but does not specifically cover crimes or theft by employees. Question 20. Which of the following would not be covered under a personal auto insurance policy? A. A rental car after the insured's car is damaged in a covered accident. B. The cost of repairing the insured's car after a non-collision incident. C. Damage to another person's property when the insured is at fault in an accident. D. Injury treatment for a passenger in the insured's vehicle after an accident. Answer: B. The cost of repairing the insured's car after non-collision incident. Explanation: personal auto insurance policy covers repairs to the insured's vehicle only in the event of covered accident. Option A. Non-collision incidents, such as weather-related damage. Option B would require comprehensive coverage. Damage to another person's property. Option C. An injury treatment for passenger. Option D. Are generally covered by liability and personal injury protection (PIP) components of the policy. Question 21. Which of the following is not typically covered by homeowners insurance? A. Damage caused by a storm. B. Damage caused by a flood. C. Injury to a visitor on the property. D. Damage caused by a fire. Answer B. Damage caused by a flood. Explanation. Homeowners insurance generally covers damage from storms, fires, and injuries to visitors on the property. However, flood damage is typically excluded and homeowners must purchase flood insurance separately. Question 22. Which of the following is a requirement for bodily injury liability under an auto insurance policy? A. Is mandatory only if the driver is under the age of 25. B. It must cover the medical expenses of the driver regardless of fault. C. It is only required if the driver has a history of accidents. D. It must cover injuries caused to other drivers, passengers, or pedestrians. Answer D. It must cover injuries caused to other drivers, passengers, or pedestrians. Explanation. Bodily injury liability is a mandatory component of auto insurance. It covers the medical expenses and injuries to others, drivers, passengers, pedestrians. If the insured is at fault in an accident, it does not cover the insured's own injuries or medical expenses. Question 23. Which of the following types of insurance would not cover damage to the insured's own vehicle in the event of a collision? A. Comprehensive insurance. B. Collision insurance. C. Liability insurance. D. Personal injury protection (PIP). Answer C. Liability insurance. Explanation. Liability insurance only covers the damages to other people's property and injuries when the insured is at fault in an accident. It does not cover damage to the insured's own vehicle. Collision insurance and comprehensive insurance would provide such coverage, and PIP is for medical expenses. Question 24. Which of the following is not a standard exclusion in a standard homeowners insurance policy? A. Earthquake damage. B. Fire damage. C. Vandalism damage. D. Theft of personal property. Answer A. Earthquake damage. Explanation. A standard homeowners insurance policy excludes damage caused by earthquakes, which generally requires a separate earthquake insurance policy. It does cover fire, vandalism, and theft of personal property as part of the standard coverage. Question 25. Scenario-based. Sophie owns a coffee shop and purchases a business owner's policy BOP for her store. The store is damaged due to a fire and she has to close the shop for several weeks. Which of the following would be covered by the business interruption coverage in her BOP? A. Loss of inventory during the fire. B. Rent and operating expenses during the time the store is closed. C. The cost to replace the coffee machines. D. The cost of advertising to promote the reopened store. Answer B. Rent and operating expenses during the time the store is closed. Explanation. Business interruption coverage in a BOP is designed to compensate for lost income and operating expenses such as rent and employee wages during the time the business cannot operate due to a covered loss like a fire. It does not cover inventory loss, replacement costs, or advertising expenses. Question 26. Which of the following is typically covered by a standard commercial general liability (CGL) insurance policy? A. Property damage to the insured's own property. B. Bodily injury caused by defective products manufactured by the business. C. Employee injuries while working on company premises. D. Damage to company vehicles. Answer B. Bodily injury caused by defective products manufactured by the business. Explanation. A commercial general liability (CGL) policy generally covers bodily injury and property damage caused by the business's operations or products, including defects in products sold by the business. It does not cover employee injuries, which are covered by workers' compensation, damage to company vehicles, or damage to the insured's own property. Question 27. Scenario-based. Emma works as a freelance graphic designer and is considering purchasing professional liability insurance. Which of the following risks would not be covered by this type of insurance? A. A client sues Emma for failing to meet a project deadline. B. A client claims Emma's design work was defective and caused them financial losses. C. Emma's employee injures themselves while working in her home office. D. Emma's mistaken design causes financial loss for the client. Answer C. Emma's employee injures themselves while working in her home office. Explanation. Professional liability insurance, or errors and omissions insurance, covers claims of negligence or defective work by professionals such as Emma's design work. However, it does not cover employee injuries, which would fall under workers' compensation insurance. Question 28. Which of the following best describes replacement cost coverage in a property insurance policy? A. It reimburses the insured based on the current market value of the property. B. It covers the depreciated value of the property at the time of the claim. C. It pays the full cost to repair or replace the property without deductions for depreciation. D. It reimburses for the value of lost income resulting from property damage. Answer: C. It pays the full cost to repair or replace the property without deductions for depreciation. Explanation: replacement cost coverage provides compensation for the full cost of replacing or repairing property without factoring in depreciation. This ensures that the insured can fully replace their property to its original condition. In contrast, actual cash value coverage would take depreciation into account. Question 29. Which of the following would not be covered under commercial property insurance policy? A. Theft of property on the business premises. B. Damage to inventory from a fire. C. Employee injuries on the job. D. Damage to the building from a storm. Answer: C. Employee injuries on the job. Explanation: commercial property insurance covers property and inventory damage as well as theft and storm damage. Options A, B, and D. However, it does not cover employee injuries, which are typically covered by workers' compensation insurance. Question 30. Which of the following best defines the deductible in an insurance policy? A. The maximum amount the insurance company will pay for a claim. B. The amount the insured must pay out of pocket before the insurance company covers the rest. C. The amount the insured must pay to retain their coverage after filing a claim. D. The portion of the claim paid by the insurance company for repairs. Answer: B. The amount the insured must pay out of pocket before the insurance company covers the rest. Explanation: the deductible is the amount the insured must pay out of pocket before their insurance policy kicks in to cover the remaining costs. It is subtracted from the total claim amount and the insurer covers the rest.